Welcome back to Shadow of the Colossus. Wonder, get up. Time to go. Time to go at it again.
Did you wash your neck yet?
Unfortunately, Shiro, it doesn't wash off. All right, let's see. In the same desert where we fought Barba. Okay.
And yeah.
And you're going for these in order, right?
You have to.
Yeah. Guess it makes sense. I guess it's just probably some thematic thing as you build up.
Oh, trust me, Joe. If you went for Colossus 16 at first, you would get your ass handed to you. It's
There is not an upgrade system, Jova, but basically the game, through experience alone in presenting these colossi one by one, actually teaches you how to deal with them with a subtle learning curve.
Yeah, I think I get it. It's sort of like how it needs to...
Some colossi are worse than others in terms of difficulty spikes here and there, but overall the curve is consistent for the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's pretty much like Ace Attorney. You're like, well, you start off with, of course, the tutorial case, but then as you work up, the cases get harder.
alright, so yeah, let's go for this
Thank God
first.
we don't get chased through a forest by one of these things.
I'm pretty sure if a Colossus was chasing it for forest, he would destroy the entire forest.
Maybe not the entire forest, but it would make it a bit harder for us because we can't smash the trees.
Mm-hmm. Alright, let's see. Should be through here in a moment, and we should get out in just a few seconds.
Yeah.
Alright,
Yeah,
in this part we're going to fight off.
This forest in the original.
It was.
Again,
That's because it looks very different.
Yeah, alright.
There you go. Alright, time to fight off Colossus 13.
Oh, it's in the same canyon, too.
Well, the canyon is the
Actually-
path through that I usually take when I get to the desert, so...
Right, you're going down this way because it's quicker and the horse can just follow us, I guess.
Yeah. Finding his own way. Her own way, sorry.
Ow. Alright.
And then Wander got covered in leeches because of a swamp.
Alright. Should be smooth sailing from here, right?
Come on, aggro. Find the way.
Huh. Aggro's taking a lot longer than usual.
Well, remember, Aggro has to come
through.
through that bridge there and meet me at the cave.
There you go. He's about to cross the bridge.
Huh. He's a bit longer than I remember the last time we came here. I mean, granted, last time
That's because Aggro's AI is programmed. Basically, Joe, think of Aggro as bait Trico. Because in True Way of Fashion, he programmed Aggro's AI so that it's more unpredictable and doesn't always behave the same way like a real horse.
Don't you mean she?
Alright, Jova, if you don't remember, this Colossus was actually heavily promoted in some of the trailers and the gameplay demonstrations.
Yeah. It's one of the more iconic ones, if anything, because it looks so different than all the others.
Not just that, it has the mechanic that I was mentioning before, but the elaborate ones it shows up.
Stonehenge, but dusty.
Alright, let's see.
There you go. Phalanx of the dragon.
Huh.
Here's the thing, people actually compare the model size. This is actually the biggest, and more like the longest of a Colossi, and it's very huge still. But here's the thing, it never attacks you. It doesn't even consider attacking you. The only way this Colossus can actually hurt you is when you actually
stand in front of it.
No. When you grab onto him eventually, at some point he will try to submerge in the sand in order to regain bank quota, and that can actually damage you, but it's very pitiful. So there you go. That's a strategy. You need to heat the sacks of air because he's like a hot air balloon.
Yeah, it depends on those air sacs to stay afloat that high. So we're going to use our arrows to, well, burst those bubbles.
Bring it down.
Weird how a dragon of all things would be the tranquil one.
It's the juxtaposition, Jova, basically. You're expecting this to be one of the more aggressive, but actually not that much.
There you go. Now so yeah, after taking down its 3 sets of air sacs, it starts going lower, and it even lowers its wings, and this is your chance to climb on them.
Wow, he's way slower than in the original. The original was actually way faster.
Yeah, it's for the sake of making it less frustrating.
Yeah.
Because in the original, this boss was one of the most frustrating ones. Fortunately, Bluepoint tuned it up so that it's a bit less frustrating to do.
Just the right amount.
Yeah.
It's still fast enough.
Alright, there we go. Yeah.
You know, it's nice that he has a flap to help protect us from the wind velocity that might knock us off in most cases.
There you go, that's one of my most favorite themes that plays when you're actually striking the Colossus.
These Colossi have very convenient structures.
Do a barrel roll!
Yeah, then again, they are part buildings, so maybe
make sure you're grabbing onto his fur whenever he spins like that, otherwise you'll fall.
Oh, yeah.
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 Alright, that's one of 3 marks extinguished. Here's the second one. Unfortunately, you don't get time to do all of 3 because when you get to a certain point, he closes up. There you go.
And then starts submerging into...
And now he'll start submerging.
So he's literally like a living airplane in some sense.
Now he's gonna... Yeah, he's now submerging into the sand, so I'm gonna try my best to try to jump at the last moment. Oh, Jesus Christ. Whoa.
There you go, that's what actually damages, but again, even armor is not even that much. Then
I don't know, he's got like a third of health left.
It's okay. Fortunately, since it takes a bit to bring him down again, I'll recover enough HP by then.
The thing is, when he re-emerges, the sacks are once again filled with air, so you're basically starting once again.
How does he get air from under the ground?
I have no idea, Jova. The way these stone golems were built is very interesting.
Not to mention the equipment that I'm wearing increases my health regeneration rate. So the equipment I'm wearing.
Oh, there you go.
Specifically the cloak of regeneration and the life sword.
Oh no, I get that, but what does that have to do with what I was asking?
No, I wasn't answering you. I wasn't answering you. I was just speaking.
Question the way living buildings breathe. Honestly.
Yeah.
I think we need to stop there.
Well, Shiroi, there's a dinosaur in Falsified Fighters 2 Champions, which is literally...
Well, Shiroi, ask yourself the question. Well, Shiroi, ask yourself the question: how far would you go to save someone you love?
Like Alice.
That isn't relevant to what I was
also,
yeah, she was talking about the building creatures.
Jova, and you know, it was a bit misargued, but have you seen that circle submerging the sand on the left a bit before? That's actually a reference to Eco. It's one of the portals that are present in the Queen's Castle. It's basically
so this is the future of Eco.
No, it's actually still the past, but
this is a prequel to Eco, and it's going to become obvious at the end.
So what? They dug them out of the sand, I guess?
More like, the best thing I can imagine is that the Queen's Castle was built in the shape of that ancient civilization.
I guess.
But
anyway,
again, Jova, I'll explain once more a bit when we finish this game, and a bit more when we'll get to actually Eco.
Anyway, sure, going back to what you were saying, yeah, believe it or not, in Fossil Fighters Champions, the sequel to Fossil Fighters, there's actually a Vivasaur, which is literally one of the giant Brontosaurus types of dinosaurs but has humps on his back that pretty much are skyscrapers. That's right, it's a living city, essentially.
Reminds me of one of the weapons in Kid Icarus Uprising, where it's one of the maces, but it's a literal skyscraper maze when you pass your enemies with.
And then, of course, there's Metroplex from Transformers.
There we go. Now on to the third one. Oh shit. Ooh. We.
Just like an airplane.
Yeah. Thank God it has fur to cling on to.
Yeah.
Again,
It's like-
very convenient structures.
It's like Falcor, the Black Dragon.
Oh,
Except
fuck.
we're actually trying to kill him.
That's very rude.
Nope, you ain't gonna kill me that easily.
You were waiting specifically so you could troll me.
He's
Wow.
very
Dragon.
playful.
So he's a dickish pacifist.
Well,
we
pacifist
go.
means you don't kill anyone. I mean, you could still be an asshole.
Yeah.
Oh, poor aggro.
Oh, snap.
Oh yeah, here's another thing you'll notice. Whenever aggro gets hurt, she starts limping from one of the legs. But fortunately, it was
She gets recovered.
it was a light hit, so she recovered quickly.
Because that's not good for a horse.
No,
Yeah.
don't worry, Shiroi. Fortunately, aggro is operating on Last Guardian health system, where it doesn't matter how hard you fall, how hard you get hurt. You only start limping for like a couple seconds. It depends on how much you
Well,
got
they
hit.
survived having their limbs ripped off, so there we go.
Oh, she's still limping a bit, it seems.
Yeah.
It
No,
takes
it's just the trotting. There
Yeah.
you go.
just because I'm
I
trying.
don't know. I mean, her left leg is still lagging behind a bit like it's limping. I mean, again, the hind leg could hurt. Thank God she didn't break it, though. Looks like more of a sprain.
Come on, Phalanx, where are you? Okay, I'll see draw this particular ring. For
His name is literally Phalanx.
Phalanx. Yeah, I'll spell with
And
you.
he has pulsating sacs on him. And he's
Well, more
incredibly long.
similar to the term of in military term, a phalanx was the formation that the
I
soldier
know.
of Alexander the Great used with the porcupine formation, basically, big lances and shields.
I'm just saying, the name mixed with the sacs and the girth of his length.
So Jova, it's like Xemnas when, despite Nomura created that name, despite not knowing that rearranging the letters when it becomes man's sex.
Yeah.
Seriously. There we go.
All right. Time to go
You
in
know,
for.
Pedro,
Now
you
boarding
can start
Colossus
from the bottom and not the
Airlines.
top.
I can what? Sorry.
You can start climbing from the things on the bottom part.
I can. True. However, the main reason why I usually do these is because they're the ones that are most accessible. And remember, I usually go from top to bottom when it comes to killing the free marks.
Alright then. There you go.
Not to mention, too, even if you do go out of your way to climb onto the other ones, it doesn't matter. Like, the game is scripted in a way that you cannot beat all three marks in one go, unless you have the Queen Sword.
I know. I was just saying that for this particular instance, where you just need to get to the bottom one, and there you go,
Yeah.
and you're good to go. Will be more convenient.
Don't worry, the game gives me enough time.
Oh yeah.
Alright.
We.
Alright. Whoa. Ah! Stand still, will you? Okay.
I really appreciate again the detail that they added here. Now the Colossus actually has a tone in the sense that he's much more grey, when originally it was just basically a single block of yellow.
All of the detail that was implied in the original, thanks to Blue Point's art, we can now actually see
will
it.
be covered because of the radiation. So,
There we go. And done.
there you go. But he did nothing
Mayday!
wrong.
Mayday! We're going down! Colossal Airlines is going down!
Again, this is the most blatant case where the beast did literally nothing wrong to you.
He was just there being majestic, and you just walked right in and murdered it.
Balls.
I hope you're proud of yourself.
Who's the good guy in this story again?
Again, it's like you
totally
said,
yes.
It's like you said, Pedro. The sex must be really worth it.
Yeah.
Huh.
There we go.
I mean, that can't feel good.
I mean,
either.
even the victory theme, if you paid attention, has these very melancholic tones.
Yeah, it's intentional. Like, in fact, I have to show Jova a specific video that I'm sure he'll appreciate about the construction of the music of this game.
Okay then. What's next?
Next, we're going to see the pathway that I need to take to get to Colossus number 14. But we'll not beat it in this part, because by the time we get to his cave, it was already 23 minutes, so I figured, this is gonna take a while, so I might as well just split it off here. But I wasn't doing anything.
It was a joke.
I wasn't even doing anything. Why? Why did you kill me?
I can't believe, Phalanx, you committed suicide. Alright. Lady into dorming.
I wonder, what if Wonder is going to end up turning into a Colossus himself that gets hunted by the humans coming into town?
Thy next foe is a guardian set loose. A closed-off city beyond the channel.
Oh, it's this one.
It lusts for destruction.
Oh, so it's an evil one.
It's one of the more... It's similar to Dirge. It's gonna be very active from the start.
Alright.
But we'll get to it eventually.
Let's go there then. Alright, of all the Colossi, this is the hardest one to get to, because this is the one where you have to, that takes the longest to get to, because not only is he in the far northern place in the map, he's also inside a cave that you have to also go through. So getting to this Colossus takes quite a bit.
Yes, this was the Colossus who pretty much nobody really liked because of destruction, so they kind of evicted him.
Alright. Let's see. Fruit there. Okay. Alright, Aggro, let's go.
There you go, once more onto the stone bridge. On the mountain.
Seems so far so good.
Well, again, Joe, it's more like pinpointing your location with the sword than basically arranging the correct route, depending on the altitude as well.
His cave is somewhere inside the valley, which makes it hard to use the sword, so you always have to rely on small little spots where the sunlight might be.
It's also a good reason why there are a lot of save point statues scattered throughout the entire map.
Oh yeah, that's actually something that I never actually explained, if I remember correctly.
Good.
In the original game, you could only save manually at each of the various shrines that are spread all over the world. In this remake, however, it auto saves every time you defeat a Colossus. So even if you
can still,
so basically
you can still save manually, right?
Yeah, you can still save manually,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay.
But it added in
Pedro actually did showcase that.
It's for the sake of bringing the game up to modern standards.
Sure. It's good also to see about the other option as well, just at the same time as the other.
Well, at least we don't have to worry about any weird eldritch abominations chasing us like in Last Guardian.
No, Jova. We'll get that again in Eco when we do it.
Yeah.
But of course.
Only much more annoying.
Much more annoying.
I really want to hope that if it's not the next one of the next one that Bluepoint does, obvious remake that Bluepoint does is actually eco, because if they do the same level of quality and polishing and easing it up that they did for this one for eco, the better.
Eco is by far the one that has that needs a remake the most.
Depends, though. From what I can recall, Eco's not as well known or celebrated as Shadow of Colossus.
It was a launch title, Jova, for the PS2.
It is celebrated, but not as Shadow of the Colossus. True, but it is celebrated. The problem is that the game aged quite badly in a lot of ways.
Yeah. I already told you about the completely cut of 3/4 of the story, basically. But the problem is that also the gameplay is very rough. It's a gigantic escort mission that's very annoying.
Think Last Guardian in an alpha state. That's basically what Eco's gameplay is. Like the controls are quite primitive.
The movements are very clunky.
Yeah, like it can be a bit frustrating for someone who didn't play it back in the PS2 era. It's really hard to get back into that mental state where, you know, back in the day where controls were far worse.
Not only that, the PS3 HD version actually adds a couple of trophies that are really... it makes the experience even more frustrating. Basically, Jova, the game is short on its own. I'm not gonna even lie about it. The game is very short.
You can complete it in 2 hours if you know what you're doing.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. These trophies, two particularly, they expect you to beat the game. One in 4 hours, and one in 2 hours. Yes, it is beatable, but it still requires a lot of precision.
Basically, complete mastery of the game is required.
And it means a lot of frustration, because a lot of times doing the encounters with the monsters in the game, where the escort mission goes full force, it can become basically a game of cat and mouse that can last a lot of time, depending on how both the enemy and your escort, the person you're escorting, actually behave. And considering it's one of those escort missions of the type of where the person you're escorting is like, oh, there's a penny in the mouth of that dragon, I'm gonna check it out.
Much like
it's very frustrating.
I don't think we've addressed this in commentary, by the way. Fumito Ueda said after Last Guardian that his next game, he specifically even said, Last Guardian was more like Eco, but now after Last Guardian, I'd like to make a game that's more like Shadow of the Colossus, a more open world game. So much like Last Guardian was a spiritual successor to Eco, apparently his next game is going to be a spiritual successor to this one.
Wonder if it'll also be a boss rush.
We'll see. He said the only thing he said was it was going to be an open world game. Aside from that, he hasn't given us any details.
I mean, besides, Sony has proven nowadays that they can do the open world structure much better than they could do before, so might as well.
Even if it doesn't work at Sony anymore, I wouldn't be surprised if he makes a partnership with them.
Well, that's the thing.
Him and Yoshida are still big friends, so...
Didn't you yourself said that the next game he's working on is still under the same narrative?
Apparently, yeah.
Story than this, so it needs to be Sony exclusive.
Who knows, Tio? I mean, Kingdom Hearts 3 by all rights should not have been coming to the Xbox One since nothing else is.
Different company, Jova. Sony
means
stuck on PlayStation.
Well, that's my point exactly, Miko. There's really no say in the matter per se. Like,
for a third party, yes.
Also,
for a company. We remember, Jova, Shadow of the Colossus and Icost and Last Guardian are technically Sony IPs, so by that nature bound to be on PlayStation regardless.
Yeah, well, obviously they'll be on PlayStation, but there's no guarantee that they'll be PlayStation exclusive. Besides, Miko, like you yourselves have said, the connection is loose at best.
Yeah, it depends on how vague the connection is too. If he makes it vague,
how everyone's feeling.
If he makes it vague enough, he can pull it off. Honestly.
Whatever. See you for the next part.
See ya.
See ya.
See ya.